Happy Halloween, everyone, and really happy Halloween today, because for me today is really Halloween. I've been saying happy Halloween like the past 7 episodes, and it's not really been Halloween, but today it really is Halloween. So this is the final episode of our Halloween coverage, where we look at all the stuff you can do in Guild Wars at Halloween. Halloween. So yeah, this video we're going to be looking at the 2011 challenge mission that was added to the game, and we're also going to meet Mad King Thorn in the finale when he comes and tells some jokes and gives everybody some nice unique hats. So we're going to start off by going to do the challenge mission, which is a little odd really, because this means we're going to see Mad King Thorn before the finale, and really seeing Mad King Thorn was the best thing about the finale before, but now you can see him whenever the hell you want because you can come to the challenge mission. But whatever, it doesn't really matter that much. So we're going to speak to the sorceress of Kessex, I think. Yeah, and she is going to say, "Aren't you the flesh bag that assaulted the Bone Palace in the name of Mad King Thorn? All you mortals look alike. It's hard to keep track of you." I guess I could have done this on Matt to make a little bit more sense, but whatever. Oh well, it matters not. Yes, quite. His Majesty Mad King Thorn requests your service on the battlefield, and by request I mean demand, with grave consequences if you refuse. Palawa Joko seems to hold something of a grudge against our most regal monarch regarding our forces' little visit to his Bone Palace, and he has revenge on his mind. Normally our forces would crush his pathetic excuse for an army, but unfortunately His Highness's greatest general dared to speak ill of our king's prized invisible pony, leaving him no choice but to transform him into a mower, and then eat him. Naturally. Go on. As delicious as I'm sure he was, our king's entirely justified and completely logical actions have left a vacancy within our ranks that can only be filled with a great tactician such as yourself. Palawa Joko has challenged us to meet him in battle, and you're going to have to lead our forces. Refusal guarantees your death, while accepting this honour gives you at least a slight chance at survival. Speak with me and I will send you to the battlefield. Yeah, I really do wonder if Mad King Thorn actually could just kill us by just clicking his fingers. Anyway, I never liked that Palawa Joko guy. To battle. So sweet. Now we're going to go to this challenge mission called the Scarred Psyche, and actually I did quite like Palawa Joko, but whatever, we're against him. So this place is the Scarred Psyche. You might recognise this map. If you do because of my coverage, then well, my hat off to you, kind sir. This map we've only ever seen once in the entire Let's Play. This was when we were in the Tomb of the Primeval Kings. This was the second map we went to, and we're back here now. This was the place that was called the Scarred Earth, and you used to be able to play this at there's no mini map, so I can't show you it. In Heroes Ascent you used to be able to play this, and you'd have 6 teams. You used to have 2 teams behind that door, 2 teams behind that door, and 2 teams behind that door, and when you beat the opposing team you'd be able to move into the central area. So it'd be like 6 teams, and then 3 of them would survive, and then they'd all duke it out here in the middle all in one map, and it was awesome and it was amazing. But now not enough people play Heroes Ascent anymore, so it's actually been removed from the rotation, but you can still go there in Tomb of the Primeval Kings, and now you can come here in Halloween as well. So this is all new. This is what the live team, this is the latest thing that the live team has added to the game. Check out the moon. Amazing. So I think this is the biggest moon that they've ever put in actually so far. Look how low res the texture ends up looking. But yeah, you can walk around here. There's all kinds of cool Halloween-y decorations going on, and there's a few people. There's this guy here called Sergeant Cobb. Okay, I think their names are jokes actually. There's a Colonel here, and he'll teach us a little bit about the mission we're about to go in. And this was a records guy here. Of course, this is a challenge mission, so the people can get score and get higher and higher. So you can see the highest score right now is 1,582. That's mad. Basically, this game, you start off with 1,800 points, and for every second that you're in the match, you lose a point. So the quicker you complete it, the more score you end up with. That is insane. I have no idea how they did that. You actually get people speed clearing this and claiming about being experienced groups and stuff. I've not partaken in any of that stuff. I've been too busy doing the videos and work and stuff, but it is quite cool to see how people are doing. Anyway, he does say, "Greetings to thee, noble mortal. You must have come in through the portal. Should your feats on the field deserve to be revealed, I shall record them for, oh gods, if I stop rhyming who'll have my head again, in a matter that shan't warrant a chortle." So yeah, so quite funny dialogue there. And yeah, just these guys are doing amazing. Obviously the monthly best and quarterly best don't mean anything because you can only play it this 1 month. But whatever, it's cool to see how people are doing. There's no chance this run I'm going to do here, there's no chance I'm going to be able to show anything good. There's actually a video out on YouTube right now of somebody completing it in like 6 minutes with heroes, which is pretty cool. But if you actually look at the records, most of the teams are full human teams, and they split up and stuff. But anyway, this guy here, Colonel, will actually teach us about what the hell we're about to do here. And he's a big old candy corn guy. Okay, so he says, I wonder about the candy corn guys. Are the Lunatic Corps all candy corn people, or are these just minions that Mad King Thorn summons himself? It's kind of weird. This model here, by the way, you can get as a mini pet, and it's an amazing mini pet. Anyway, I'll talk about that more when we go in there, because there's a brilliant example of it when we get in. Anyway, he says, and just where do you think you're going? Is life in the Corps just too hard for your dainty little mortal body? Sure, I'll let you back into the mortal realm, but only because I think I saw a kitten in Lion's Arch who can teach you a thing or two about not being a total pansy. Dismissed. Leave? In our moment of triumph? Hardly. I just wanted some of your advice. If Palawa Joko uses the same tired tactics he's been using for centuries, which he will have a number of generals on the field calling in the bulk of his forces. Once the general goes down, forces will no longer arrive from that point. So, we need to kill the generals. Got it? Anything else? Each of the generals will be guarded by a priest of Joko. As long as this priest is alive, the general's guards will resurrect after a short time. So make sure to take out those priests too. Right, so kill the priest of Joko too. Anything else? Joko is a sore loser, so the more generals you kill, the more forces he will send to his other generals. If we start embarrassing him enough, which I know we will, he may even show his ugly hide on the battlefield. Now, enough talking, and let's see this battle get started. Go, go, go. Right, so basically the essence of this mission here is we're going to be sort of defending from attacks in this central area with Mad King Thorn. Joko is going to be sending forces through these 3 gates that I mentioned that in Heroes Ascent players would come through. And it's our job to A, defend and keep Mad King Thorn alive, and B, go through the gates and kill the generals that are on the other side. It's a bit of a mix of the Dunes of Despair, I think was the mission. I can't use the map. In the Crystal Desert, and also the Zagna Bastion mission in Nightfall. It's like a mix between both of them. It's quite cool though. So I'm going to be adding my heroes, just any old heroes. I don't care who, because everybody's skills have changed, as you can see here. My skills have changed, which I should probably mention before we go in. Actually, all right. So the skills here in this mini game are actually very similar to how the Guild Wars 2 skill system set up. Everybody gets a resurrect, okay, and you kill enough bosses for this resurrection signet to recharge constantly, okay, which is something that you get in Guild Wars 2. Nobody has an auto attack. You can't auto attack when you're in there at all, but you do have a skill 1 which basically functions as your auto attack. You get skill 2, which is very fast recharging, just like the Guild Wars 2 skill system with your weapon skills which recharge fast. You get skill 3. Everybody has their own self heal, and this also recharges quite fast. Okay, now everybody also gets this AoE ability here, this Reign of Terror, and you can see how the recharges get slightly longer as we go along. This is just like Guild Wars 2 as well. So you've got the Reign of Terror, you've got your Elite, which honestly, it's because I haven't played it enough, and I know that that's the case, but I haven't really got much use out of this Elite, but I'm sure it's okay, it's quite good. Everybody can heal each other, everybody has the capacity to heal, very similar to Guild Wars 2, and everybody can also summon minions as they go through. It turns out heroes are actually quite good at using that, where I tend to find players aren't so good at it. So yeah, that's the goal. We're going to defend, we've got to take out the generals, we've got to defeat Palawa himself, and the faster we do it, the better the score we're going to get at the end. Let's do it. Begin challenge. There's just tons of dialogue in this, okay, absolutely loads, so I'll probably spend most of my time reading this out loud. So it's probably a good idea I mentioned all of that. So we're into the Scarred Psyche, and there is Mad King Thorn. Check him out, amazing. Right, so he says, what's this? New recruits, welcome to my mad little corner of the underworld. So it's actually quite cool that he describes this as his corner of the underworld, because remember, he is from a specific corner of it, and I have brought up in the past where this part of the underworld really is, and I guess this is his part. So it says, you're really lucky, you know, people are always dying to get in here. Yes, okay. Stupid joke number 1. Joko's forces will be materializing any moment now. I can already smell the stench of failure on the breeze. Oh, and one more thing, it's not enough to just beat him. We have to humiliate him. Right, okay. So he's actually going to describe the objectives a little bit here. The faster you defeat him, the more pleased I'll be. Plus, it's Bath Night for Mr. Gumdrops, and King Thorn is never late to Bath Night. So Mr. Gumdrops is the pony we heard him talk about a little bit before. The gate's opening, so let's get going. Did you think I would forget your transgressions, Thorn? This time I've come for you, says Palawa Joko. I will give it a rest, Joko. Everyone knows your bark is worse than your bite. So these guys will basically be arguing in the dialogue for the rest of the fight now. So Palawa says, bah, I can smell your pumpkin breath from here. Enough talk, we'll settle this in battle. I wonder why Mad King Thorn does have a pumpkin head. It's just quite confusing. And all of his minions are edible sweets. Oh, whatever. Alright, so here's the first general here. Mad King Thorn says, they're coming from all sides, so make sure to leave enough forces to defend me. If I go down, I'm taking all of you with me. Ha ha ha. Right, now this is quite weird, okay? I mentioned that the fight was a little bit like the Dunes of Despair or the Zagna Bastion, but the thing is, in those missions, you actually have to focus on protecting your team. And here you don't. In this, you really, really don't. If you're just quick enough, he'll survive just fine. I have played one game where he died, having said that. But generally, Mad King Thorn's more than enough to defend himself. Check it out. It's another one of those char things. And actually, this one... Oh, no, now we're too short. Oh, whatever. Anyway, so Mad King Thorn says, what a very splendid hat you have there, Palawa. It must do an excellent job of keeping the vultures from landing on your head. I'm going to wipe that smile off your pumpkin, Thorn. Yes, okay, so these guys will just keep bickering. The dialogue we read here is actually somewhat randomised. ArenaNet obviously understood that lots of players would want to repeat this mission lots, and they randomised it a little bit, so if you actually do pay attention to the dialogue, you can get different conversations going on each time, which is pretty awesome. I'm not going to do coverage of every single one. They're usually just some funny jokes each time. You can go on the... Actually, I do know, I'll put it in the description for this video if you're really interested in it. Oh my god. Why do people repeat this, you might be wondering? Well, A, they might be trying to get the record. I don't think you get anything for being on the scoreboard at the end of the event, but you might, and that would be quite interesting if you did. Like in the Dragon Festival, you could get a special mini pet, the black... no, not the black piece of art, sorry. You could get a basically one of the racer beetles called Zippy, from being on the record, so I thought maybe they'd do the same thing here at Halloween, but obviously the event's not over yet, so I don't know whether they are. I doubt they are. But the other reason why people are doing it over and over is because this is the only legitimate way in PvE, without ever having to do PvP, players can actually get their gamer title up, which is quite interesting. So Mad King Thorn says, I say you are a glutton for punishment. Each time you come back, you get monumentally defeated by this person, that person, some Ossa person. Why don't you just quit now, go home and play with your stupid invisible pony? Mad King Thorn's hilarious. Why does he have an invisible pony? And indeed, there is an invisible pony on this map, and it really is there. It's an invisible pony. Mad King Thorn himself, and indeed Palawa Joko, who will be fighting in this map, they have loads of elite skills. So Mad King Thorn is a warrior, right? You'll see he's using 100 blades there. He's got 4 warrior elite abilities, along with 2 elite ability monster skills of his own, and a non-elite one that I can't quite remember what the non-elite one does. But he's got so many elite abilities, and one of his elite abilities is the power to summon Gumdrops, the invisible pony, and it will actually summon it into the fight. There you go. Can you see that nameplate there? Gumdrops, the noble steed. And it's just an NPC without a model. It's an invisible pony. I shit you not. It's quite hilarious. The pony itself's got some abilities as well. It's got like an elite. It's a warrior. It's just so ridiculous. I can't believe that they actually put the pony in there. Like, it seemed like just some I mean, you guys have seen all the quests now, the Halloween quests up until this point. It seemed like the pony was just like some throwaway funny dialogue that they put in like 2009 or whatever, and in 2011 they came back and they were like, oh no, it's real, don't worry about it. So, as you can see here, we've got a countdown. We're on, well, a count up, should I say. We're on 3 minutes 55. Remember what I said about how you get scored on this earlier on, about how you start off with like 2,800 points or whatever, and you lose one every second that you're in the map? Well, that does mean that eventually you can have a score of 0. All of the points can run out. It's all sort of happening in the background, but it can run out. So you might be wondering what happens when that happens. Well, that turns out that's at like the 30-minute mark, I think, so... if you do the maths, you'll find out exactly how many points you get. But at the 30-minute mark, you run out of points. And when that happens, if you're actually so bad at this minigame, you're still in here at the 30-minute mark, Mad King Thorn basically shouts at you and says, I asked you to be quick. Why are you guys stuck so much? Oh, and he gets annoyed with you. And Joko's like, oh, come back next year, pumpkin breath. It's quite hilarious. I'll put that dialogue in the description as well. So it's pretty cool that you can actually fail this mission. I never really considered you could. I mean, outside of Mad King Thorn himself dying, that is. So... as you can see here, the dialogue's already started, but we've not killed everything over here. That's because really you don't have to kill everything. The speed clearing I said people were doing, trying to do it super quick for the records. What they will do is they'll ignore the priests, they'll ignore everything. They'll just kill the boss and run off. And in fact, they'll try and kill the monk boss first, because the monk boss can be quite difficult to kill at the end if it's got a priest there with you. So you want it, because obviously the more guards we're killing here, the more he's throwing out in other directions. You can see everybody's nearly dead down there. If Mad King Thorn does die, I'll be very upset, because it only happened once, and our team was really bad when it happened. He does look like he's getting a bit low. I don't know how much health he's got. He should be okay. I'll just try and ignore it, and if I fall down dead, then we'll just start up again, and I'll cut it to where we originally were. So yeah, people will skip that, and they really do have it down to a T. I don't know all the tactics. Some people will split and stuff, but then right at the end, they ignore the final general. Look, he's going to die. He's going to die. Look at this. Look. Oh, we failed. How? Come on. Oh, no. Yeah, I trust me, guys. You don't have to stay there and defend. You can just run around. I'll see you in a second when we're back where we were. Oh, my God. Okay, here we go. I'm basically at the same point I just was. Mad King Thorn is saying different stuff, obviously. He says, a dwarf, a Norn, and a Char walk into a bar. And they didn't invite you, Palawa, because you have no friends. Oh, terrible. So we're going to be continuing on. They're all doing okay. I'm only on 3 minutes this time. I sped through it. This thing here, Cry of Madness, by the way. Feel free to read what my character says every time. It just says completely ridiculous things. So there was Ralph Wiggum reference from The Simpsons, of course. The leprechaun told me to burn things. There's just so much stuff going on in this little mini game. My plan was always just to show it the once, but I'm almost wondering whether I should have just kept playing through it, because you just see so many different things. I love how repeatable it is if you actually start looking in the right places. Anyway, we'll kill this guy. Come on. And this is going to be number 4. General number 4. But he's taking a while to go down. Yeah, I don't know what it is. As soon as I stopped doing commentary and just started focusing, and everybody just started absolutely wrecking things. So Palawa says, you pathetic pile of flesh and bones, you can't even hold yourself together. Ha! Your soldiers are as hopeless as your insults. Ready to surrender? Never. See, I just love it. They're not really witty, but they like to think that they're witty, and that's what's important. Come on, keep going. So now that we've taken out the generals on the two sides, of course, it simply means that when we move up here, Mad King Thorn's not going to be in danger of being attacked in the middle. So what his group will actually do is it will start coming around with us. It will start following us. So we get Mad King Thorn to help us against the final wave, which is pretty awesome, considering, you know, he's got like 6 elites. It's just unreal. Completely unreal. We've got to kill things. I wonder what time I will get. We're on 4 minutes. That's not too bad. It's not too far from the 6-minute video. I'm assuming that 6 minutes is really good, because that video had like 4,000 views on it, where the guy had completed it so quickly. So, I mean, it's not too shabby at all, right? Come on. The other thing, obviously, you've probably noticed, and yeah, I've been focusing on commentary, so my gameplay's not been amazing, I must admit. Are you coming, King Thorn? They should all be running up with us. Oh, screw it. I can't be bothered to go get them with me. The other thing is, like, you get these little minions. Have a look around at these, because they're tiny little candy corn guys. Look at them. Look at the little candy golems. Now, they're using the same model. I think they're the exact same size of a particularly rare mini pet that players could only get. I think the last time I looked, there were about 16 of them in the game. Oh, holy shit. We've almost wiped. Guys, are you okay? I'll res someone. I may as well actually start using some stuff to help the team. There we go, we'll infuse Karmu. Ah, my res signet didn't work. Crap. Well, it looks like my 6 minutes, which I thought for a moment there I was going to get. Man, they kept resing before I could use it. Damn it. Why are the heroes so fast at doing it? Yeah, so these little candy golems, they look like mini pets that... General Zame. I haven't left the monk one for last, have I? I hope not. Yeah, they look like little mini pets that I think there are only 16 in existence, because the only way to get them, like, they released 8 the first year, or they released 16 the first year that they did like an art competition on Halloween, or at least after sort of Eye of the North had come out. That's what they did. It was pretty cool. I like the way they did it. I remember when I was like super hardcore into farming, that was the one thing that I really wanted. You know, most people wanted pandas and stuff, but that was like my thing. Sorry, I'm not reading the dialogue, am I? So he says, "Ha! Your soldiers are as hopeless as your insults, ready to surrender. Never. Enough of this. I shall settle this myself," says Palawa Joko. And he's just down here. He spawns with the final boss, in case you didn't realise. He says, Palawa Joko, the scourge of anyone with a nose, joins the battle, says King Thorn. I want to personally watch your defeat. So Joko's defeated here, as you might guess, and we can just knock him out straight away, okay? So you can just completely ignore everyone else and try and focus him down. Or do your best to, anyway. He's obviously stood back there a fair amount. I'm going to die. I'm going to die. I'm going to die. Oh, man, they focused me so hard there. Oh, I'm up again. Thank you. Oh, no, I was targeting the priest, not Palawa himself. Whoops. When did that happen? Shit. Oh, well, 7 minutes. It's not too bad. See, the annoying thing about this is it doesn't specifically tell you what your score is. So, like, I was playing with this with Magical Mike a few times, and we wanted to know how we were doing in comparison to everybody else on the scoreboard. But without working out the maths yourself, it's just a little bit annoying. You won't figure it out. Anyway, Palawa says, "Curse you, Thorn. I'm going to." So you see how ridiculous it would be to be staying in this until 30 minutes. Lots of decorations around here. I love all the decorations. He says, "Yes, yes, flood valleys, enslaved nations. I've heard it all before. I'd like to see you try. You'll see. You'll rule the day. Go on, start ruining. This is not the end of Palawa Joko." And then Joko runs off. Of course, this is a reference to what he said at the end of the 2010 Quest Chain, where he started the Bone Palace. And indeed, he will go to do it. And we will indeed rue the day. Or at least the Elonians will rue the day. And let's face it, at the start of the Guild Wars 2 at launch, we're not going to be Elonians. So it's quite interesting, actually. I find it really weird to think of, like, Char, Asura, and Norn and stuff sort of wandering around like, Ilona sort of around in Istan. It's very odd, isn't it? And sort of thinking of them on the Jade Sea and all that kind of thing is just very bizarre to think of, but it's going to be what happens in Guild Wars 2 if you think about it. They're all going to need compelling reasons to be there. Now, for instance, I think the Savari, I'll stand by this, I think that there's another pale tree in the Echo Vowed Forest. I really do, considering the Wardens and how that some of the Savari are calling themselves Wardens and that they have Thorn Wolves and stuff, I'm sure, and that'll be a really compelling reason for the Savari to be in Cantha, but I don't know about the other races. Anyway, that's way off topic. This is the Halloween episode, so we've seen that. That's the 2011 stuff that's been added. Pretty cool, isn't it? I've probably missed a few things, but there you go. I will now cut it. It's coming up to about 7 o'clock. That's when Mad King Thorn's next visit's going to be, and we'll see what he has to say at the event itself. We'll get ourselves the hat. I'll show you the hats, and then that will be the end of my Halloween series. So I'll see you guys in a second.